you do want it to be overcast because it gets hot. All right, people, back again with another one, bunker cut. So just something a little fun. I haven't seen his video. I'm just browsing TikTok randomly by Gregettes everywhere. He says 6 things you will see in Malaysia that you will not see anywhere in the UK. It's a fun video. I'll release it on the weekend, okay? I'm the Malaysian here, right? So, by the way, I'll decide if it's true or not, okay? 6 things you will see in Malaysia, not in the UK.
Where in the UK? The first one being traditional toilets. These were a thing of legend when I was growing up. I've heard about these. They used to have them in France, and when I was very, very young, I would hear stories from people when they'd come back from France and tell me about how they had to wee into a hole in the ground, and I thought they were just winding me up because we do not have this style of traditional toilet in the UK, and we never did. Another thing...
Bro, like, why do you call it traditional? That's the scientifically, that's the best way to take a crap, bro. I can't curse early in the video, okay? Yeah, I guess it's traditional, a hole in the ground, whatever. And people always make fun of it. I mean, educated people, of course. But bro, scientifically, it's the best way to take a SHIT, okay? It's the best way. I kind of miss it. I don't have it anymore. I used to have it. Back in the day, that's where I used to, take a crap. We're 1 minute in. I guess I can say it. That's how I used to take a shit back in the day. Back in my hometown, we had it. Even that toilet is now renovated into a modern toilet. I guess modern toilet in quotations. But scientifically, that's the best way to take a shit. Sometimes, if I'm having problem taking a shit, I would just squat, bro, and it would come out. And then yeah. So don't be ignorant, okay? Google it. Scientifically, the Asians got it right, okay? And also it's kind of cleaner because you don't have to kind of sit on other people's butt cheek, right? Yeah.
Style of traditional toilet in the UK, and we never did. Another thing you will see in Malaysia, but not in the UK, is ice cream being delivered on a bike. We do not have this in the UK. If we are to have ice cream delivered in some sort of a vehicle, it is the ice cream van. These are an iconic thing in the UK. They drive around...
be real, these UK ice cream vans are dope. In Brunei is a country in Southeast Asia, nearby Malaysia. They have those ice cream trucks. I forgot what it's called. It's an American brand. It's really good though.
During the summer, play a little song, and the children run out of their houses to buy ice creams, but you will not see it being delivered on one of these bikes. The third thing is hawker stands. The idea of just having like food stalls on the side of the road, like just randomly dotted about places, and even these big open air food courts that you have. That's really not a thing in the UK. There are certain places you can go to where there will be established sort of food markets.
Yeah, in the UK, I think it's seasonal, right? Christmas, whatever, they'll have these kind of stalls. In Malaysia, it's all day. And yeah, the street food in Malaysia and Southeast Asia in general is the best in the world, okay?
Camden is famous for having one, but generally you won't get these roadside stalls where you can just pull up and buy drinks or foods. That is just not a thing.
All right, so that's because weather might play a part. In Malaysia, you can just go out. I mean, just go out. I guess in Western countries, they have winter, they have, they can't just be having food stalls all year round. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's culture, okay? Food is like in Malaysia and in Southeast Asia, one of the greetings that you say is dah makan or makan, or, it's translated to have you eaten. So food is central to Southeast Asia, okay? And we make the best food. I'm not trying to brag because I don't make food. I'm just saying, okay, we make the best food, especially street food. And there's a culture. I remember like I was when I was younger, I was chilling in a hawker, one of these food courts, outdoor food courts. And there was one of my friends brought in a European guy, a Dutch guy, right? So I was at the time I wasn't that well traveled. So I'm just asking, yo, is Europe fun? I was asking, is Europe, he's from he's Dutch, I guess. Just a young guy, and he just said, "No, we don't have this." He just pointed all around the food at night too. It was like maybe 1 a.m. So it's kind of like Southeast Asia is happening. It's like popping 24/7. Okay, especially in the city. Yeah, come here, you'll understand. Okay, this just an energy. Okay, an energy like 24/7, especially in the city, the big city.
Next, we have the canchil. Do I mean the car or do I mean the animal? It's both. We don't have either of those two things in the UK. Specifically, I was originally thinking about the car. This is a classic Malaysian car, which you will not see in the UK. But also, we don't have the mouse deer either. Next, you have the...
Yeah, it's not just the car that... the Kanchil car is it's a Japanese thing, I think. It's a Japanese copy, sort of. Kind of like collaboration. So yeah, small cars are common in Malaysia, but also in Japan. It's probably more extreme in Japan, and we kind of copied that. We kind of adopted that culture of small cars, and I think Japan has like e-cars. I think you call it really small cars, but I guess driving in Japanese is a lot safer. You can drive these small cars, right?
UK, but also we don't have the mouse deer either.
You see, the animals in the UK are kind of harmless. So this one time, I kind of met this British professor. No, I'm not a university student. It was just random. And he said he went, like, he's a biologist. He went through a list of Malaysian animals, and he's like, yo, okay, we don't have these. He's like, yeah. But of course, just it's not as bad as Australia, because Australia, you're talking about giant spiders in your... If you live in a city, it's fine. But if you live in the villages in Malaysia, yeah, I mean, of course, right? But it's not as bad as Australia, because Australia, you see it in the city.
Next, you have the open house. This is such a Malaysian format, and it's something that you just do not see in the UK. I've been very honoured here in Malaysia to have been to Malay open houses for things like Hari Raya,
Chinese
houses for Chinese New Year, even to Christian houses for Christmas and that sort of thing. And in Malaysia, that is part of celebrating various different festivals. It really isn't in the UK. Obviously, you will have friends over to celebrate Christmas or whatever, but the idea of opening your house and putting on a feast and just allowing people to come and go throughout the day, that is a Malaysian tradition through and through. And
so what an open house is, it's just kind of like, it's an open house, that's it. And it's mostly open for neighbors and friends, family. So anyone can just, even like strangers, doesn't matter, just come and eat at your house. So usually we'll have catering in the city, like in the villages, they'll cook themselves and just open up the house to anyone. Back in, when I was young, I grew up in a town. I wouldn't say it's a small town. It's a big, it's a medium-sized town. And you could, every house is an open house. If it's the first day of Eid, you could just go to any house and just eat and get money. They'll give you money. Not all houses are open though. There are houses that will just ignore you, but most of the houses are just open. You can just go to any house. That was back then. And now it's a bit more organized. People will announce their open houses. They've got invites and, on WhatsApp. And yeah, if you're like neighbors, you can come. I mean, you can just go to a random open house. They're not going to, shoo you away. It's kind of, it's interesting to know that they don't have this in other countries, right?
And of course, it would not be one of my...
I wonder if he's talking about the UK or maybe Europe in general. I wonder if any other continent has this concept.
Videos, if I didn't give a mention to 100 plus. This is something that technically you can get in a few places in the UK.
100 plus in the UK,
we have
might be expensive.
Things that we call like international supermarkets or Asian grocery stores, which you find in some...
Yeah, I think there's 100 plus. I've been to the UK. If you go to a Thai or a Vietnamese shop, they might have it. Or you could just get a Japanese drink. Again, it's rare too, called Poka Sweat or something. Pocari Sweat, right? It's the same thing.
Towns and cities around the UK, and some of them stock 100 plus, but it's not common, and you certainly don't find it on general...
Yeah, because 100 plus is a specific taste. It's an isotonic drink, but you don't have it in the UK. You don't have 100, that specific taste of isotonic drink. You have Like the UK has all kinds of isotonic drinks, right? You just don't have that specific taste of 100 plus. It's refreshing, okay? It's for a hot country. They don't need it, bro. They don't need that. Well, if you're like in Malaysia, it's hot as fuck. Just get 100 plus. Or you know what? Just get a coconut drink, like in the side in the stalls. Just get a coconut, a cold coconut drink, or 100 plus. It's refreshing. But yeah, that specific taste. Okay.
Sale in supermarkets or anything like that. So if you wanted 100 plus and you're in the UK, you will struggle an awful lot to find it. Some people even have to order it off of
yes. He's not capping, bro. He's on point right now. I've done this before, I think. Like not with 100 plus, but with Maggie. Maybe Maggie and I don't know, some other stuff off Amazon, because you kind of miss it, right? You like when I was there for a few years, yeah, you miss the local food.
Amazon or that sort of thing if they want to be able to consume it there. So yes, I would say not something that we really get in the UK. I should also give an honourable mention to the sunshine, because for about 10 months out of the year, you don't see that.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing in the UK. And it's not like cloudy, because we have overcast here in Malaysia. In fact, Malaysia is mostly overcast. And thankfully, because it's hot, so overcast is a good thing in Malaysia. But I'm telling you right now, because I used to have a camera, I used to take pictures. There's a big difference between the overcast in the UK and the overcast in Malaysia. The overcast in Malaysia, you can still see the sun trying to, it's like you have just like a layer of shade from the sun. That's about it. You still have some light, because if you can look at your camera, you still have some light. If it's overcast in Malaysia, overcast in the UK, bro, it's almost night. It's like nighttime. So you kind of you're just feeling it's dark, all the darkness all the time. You can see it in the camera that it's dark. You don't have light. In Malaysia, overcast is when there's a lot of clouds. They're just protecting you from the sun, kind of. Because Malaysia is actually, it's not like the desert. It's not like Dubai or Spain or whatever. No, not Spain maybe. Spain is Europe, right? It's not like Dubai. It's not like actually Spain is kind of like that. They're kind of near the desert, right? Morocco. And if you go Dubai, it's just, what do you call it? Sky and sun. That's it, right? But Malaysia does have sunshine. It's kind of hot. So, but mostly it's overcast. And you do want it to be overcast, because it gets hot if the sun goes directly to you, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
In the UK either. 6 things you will see.
All right, so there was an interesting video. He was on point. Yeah, and he wasn't capping, bro. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. I don't usually watch videos like this, so if you have any interesting ones, kindly send it to me through Twitter or some ish. All right, that's all for now. Peace.